Severos is a land of many beasts that we revere. The cunning wolf, the hardy camel, the fearless bison, the obedient horse. But no greater beast is there than the vulture, who shall devour everything when the world falls to ruin and decay.
My father would often say that the spirit bends to the needs of the flesh, just as the flesh bends to the desires of the spirit. Yet both can be bent with the right words. That may be the only truth he ever told me.
I met some crows this morning. They did not like you. It's okay. They're only a murder in name. Morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding.
I can only remember the love he felt. And since memories of him are all I have left, well, I'm nothing but loyal to the person who created me after all. Malik Isagani, I hope I was worth it. I hope they were worth it.
Hello, everybody. We return. We return. Moto is sad.
Mother's fine. Did you not hear what he said? He said, "I am fine."
I don't.
Okay, maybe not even sad. Maybe just feeling an absence.
The clinical term there is depression.
Yeah.
I think you can find that in DSM-5.
Yeah.
There's just a picture of him in the DSM-5. This one.
If you are anything like this, seek help.
Yeah, but we return to Doskvor. We return to the Arms of the Weeping Lady, a charity ball, which I'm not even going to say that it's a big surprise, is also hosting a demonic summoning ritual that 3 of the 4 group members have just walked into. Group member number 4, Taifsha, is just knocked out, but will come back at a dramatically appropriate moment, I think.
Story.
All that said, before we get into that, introductions, I'm Janis, he, him, GMing games here, very soon also producing them. I mean, I am producing this, but soon I will be producing for other people as well. On that note, yeah, popcorning it over to Andre.
Hello, that was not at all an indication of what's to come. I'm Andre, my pronouns are he, they. You can find me at Andre Vera Art on social media, and I am playing Carrion, whose pronouns are he, they, or he, him. I'm he, they. And I'll popcorn over to Glaiza.
Hey everyone, my name is Glaiza. Sha, nya, whatever you feel like, really. I am back to be sadder? No, I don't have any emotions. I'm playing Multo, who is fine today.
I did just notice that I need to update Glaiza's pronouns on the old overlay. We had a different overlay because we had a little bit of a back and forth of just rotating cast for the last one. But yeah,
it's totally
ignore
fine.
the overlay. The overlay lies.
It's also in English. It's the same thing anyway. I'm just making people say it in Tagalog. So it's the same. If you don't want to speak in Tagalog, it's the same thing. Anyway, Prince.
You're just racist is all. That's it.
You're just racist is all. If you want to speak in, yeah, you know, that's fine if you want to be that way. But you're not being transphobic, so you know.
Your bigotry.
Passing grade.
Forgot everything I was going to say. speaking of not being racist, I'm Prince. Or Prince Infidel, if you are also on the verge of taking even more trauma. He, him, you can call me Eloji for the better part of this session, because hopefully the whole session I will be playing Eloji, also he, him, who's going through it right now. And speaking of picking your prejudice, I popcorn it over the Shiv.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I am Siobhan or Shiv, depending on what caption spits out for that. Feel free to call me whatever. I use she, they pronouns. I am also one of the folks here. I know productions, I do things and stuff. You can find me at Dr. Bubbles PhD if you want to see my unhinged shit posting about things like Twilight. And I will be playing Taibsha, the one white woman on cast who is allergic to spices. And I will be knocked out until a dramatic moment because Taibsha just apparently catches strays no matter what she does and will always find herself unconscious in dramatic moments. So, and I will go back to Janis to get us started on the session.
Yeah. So when we last left you, you were walking into, that was 2 weeks ago. So a little recap in general. You were sent to infiltrate the Arms of the Weeping Lady, which is a former opera house. It was an opera house in the time when Six Towers, the district you have made your home base of operations, was still a bit more, well, affluent. Now, the Arms of the Weeping Lady is still a very imposing building with its black marble floors and its vaulted ceilings and everything, but it is an almshouse. It is kind of, on a regular day, it is a glorified soup kitchen. But today, or tonight rather, it is hosting a grand charity ball. A lot of the remaining nobles of Six Towers and also from other districts have come, including even Lord Skurlock, who some people know as a vampire. Most people just know as possibly the richest man that is still in Six Towers.
What's the difference?
You are sent by the Dimmer sisters, who have helped you in the past to fight the Red Sashes by just giving you a bunch of ghosts, which you still have somewhere. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them come into play here. Yeah, it was time to pay the Dimmer sisters back and gather evidence of church corruption or corruption of just the Arms of the Weeping Lady. And I mean, good news, you have mostly succeeded in that, but perhaps a bit too much, because the evidence of corruption that you did find is evidence of cannibalistic demonic summoning rituals, which you found by first just Shiv running through the first door that opened itself, or that was opened, getting knocked out by some strange incense, and then the others following suit. Mostly. Molto was already in there, and maybe we'll find out how that happened, or maybe Molto will keep that a secret. Who knows? Either way, you found a few prisoners, including Cedric Falk, Molto's boyfriend, maybe still? Who knows? Probably not, honestly. I don't know.
The love of my life.
Oh, that's going to work out so well for you.
It is the most committed situationship you can wind up in.
And after not necessarily getting to freeing them, you were very rudely interrupted by a nun that Eloji had known since he was a child, I think, and killed her. Which, to be fair, she interrupted you with the blood of somebody else just covering the lower half of her face. And unfortunately, that all was a bit loud, and the door of the secondary stage opened, revealing inside several guests of honor, looking on as Eloji, your father, the Grand Proctor of the church, was summoning a demon to chants of the name Setara. And that is where we rejoin you. We have just seen, we have just seen your father slash the throat of one of the bound prisoners. Not Cedric, luckily, not somebody you know. And the chanting intensifies. It becomes much more fervent, almost guttural, enraptured. And on an altar that has been placed on the stage, once for smaller theater production, now for this, whatever this ritual is, we see something just grow. Some kind of fleshy, almost womb-like thing, something between really some kind of fleshy membrane and possibly a spider egg or something like that. And a shape appears inside, visible through the membrane. But before this thing that you can only assume is the demon Setara hatches, your father looks at you. Ah, my son, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. You have come to see everything that could have been yours, if only. And perhaps that is where we flash back to a much different time. When Eloji and his father were a bit younger.
So, there, in the flashback, starts with, you see a very young Eloji in this black press, heavily pressed uniform in front of a book, desperately trying to choke back tears, saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then a long wooden wand smacks against the book. Don't be sorry. Be better. What? It's a simple name. What is it called? The it's a moon. And there's another hard whack against the table. Oh, it is not just the moon. And then you see Eloji in a little older, but in a pew, uh, seated with a number of other people dressed up, and his father is up on a raised dais speaking to 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 the uneducated, to the unenlightened, and to the those who sully their flesh with vile witchcraft. Mm, they think they know, what our moon is for. Mm, but its rhythms, like our heart, and, and determine in the pulse of the tides and our blood and flesh. Mm, and mm, then to a younger Eloji, mm, again, but this time in a classroom, with Sister Miriam at the front. Mm, uh, mm, uh, she's like, and on the board there is a pretty simple drawing of a circle with two crescents beside it. And she points, "Mm, yes, yes, Mortimer." And the other kids around him look at him, um, like shooting daggers at him as he sits up proudly. Um, that is known as the dimmer moon, and Sister Miriam. It is called such because on special nights in the sky, the a moon will display two spectral versions of itself, of the normal full moon and the crescent moons beside it. Mm, and this is a sacred night. And going back to the younger, almost weeping Eloji with the book in front of his father, and his father saying, "And it is and is sacred because it relates to what? Uh, the, the flesh? Yes, the flesh and the blood." Mm, and then and then it switches to just a few weeks ago, or actually at this point, just like about a week ago, where Logi is sitting in Una's mm, kitchen, well, away from the kitchen, and he's thumbing through her strange cookbook, and he comes across a page with that same symbol, the moon with the two crescents. Mm, mm, and then back to his father, and on the dais is now witches will fill your minds with superstition that this is a, mm, that the dimmer moon is about vile things like spirits, ghosts, seeing beyond on this world. Um, but what it grants us is insight, and the possibility of ascension. Mm, mm, and then you see old Eloji, maybe only 10 years younger than he is now, and he is walking down some stairs, stone stairs, and he sees his father drenched in blood, mm, and a blade in his hand, and surrounded by brothers and sisters of the church, or also covered in blood, and a dead body in front of them, and symbols of the church and the dimmer moon around them. And then we cut to mm, Carrion walking up in Crumbling Tower, and just dropping a dead crow in front of Eloji, who's in front of his notebook, and then walking away, not saying anything. Eloji like looks like he's going to say anything and just shakes his head and takes the crow. Mm, uh, and his father is talking to him again as a young man, and this time uh, in a in like a bedroom. And his father saying, "You need to be better. The insights that you can be given, and if you just stop acting like a child, mm, will will bring you more power than you can possibly understand." And mm, we cut to Eloji, mm, younger than he is now, but he is with Taivsha and Carrion and Glide and Molto before his change, and Taivsha mm, is like pointing with her eyes and anointing them, mm, and directing them to look, and and through Elogi's eyes he sees spectral things in the world. um, and then we cut back to that room with the book, and in there is a moon clock. Mm, mm, and it just has a simple one hand going around showing the different phases of the moon. Um, and his father says, "And through the church, through the blood, you will see things you cannot possibly understand." And cuts to the Dimmer Sister home, where we are being asked to look into the uh, this ball, this night, this gathering at the Weeping Lady. And Eloji is just sort of casually glancing around, looking into the spirit world, and he sees a moon clock like the one his father had, only now with his new eyes, it has more hands. It is and he can see the spectral hands and moving towards the crescents. Mm, and is his father er, look, looks to him as a child, as mm, as a young man, and again now as an adult, and ask him, mm, "Do you understand?" And you see Eloji eating eating something. He has made some kind of broth and stew, and he's tasting it. It's like, huh, I think I do understand. Uh, I believe that's when the demon comes in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kill your dad, right?
Oh, you should be so lucky.
Not now. Not at the moment, I don't think.
In the
But
moment,
worse things than death.
as Eloji relives these moments in the present day, his father is still looking with a kind of just pride or fulfillment as this membranous thing grows on the altar. But he's still in charge of the ceremony, and with just a single gesture, he commands one of the gathered acolytes to get one of the prisoners, still very much drowsy, mostly unresponsive from being drugged by the incense, and they are led to this growth as a clawed hand rips it open, and in a shower of viscera outsteps a feminine form, but grotesque in many ways, and almost in an embrace begins to sink her teeth into the offered prisoner. And again, Eloji, your father looks at you. Do you see now? Do you finally fully realize?
Eloji will talk to the demon. And say, I see you. And there's a strange reverberation in his voice. I would like that flashback and specifically the recipe he found in Una's book to grant him the ability to use ghost voice this night. This night of the dimmer moon.
Okay, yeah.
So he can speak to the demon.
I think if it's this specific, I'm just going to let you have that. No stress.
Thank you.
This
Because
specific night. I feel like you're going to get enough stress anyway.
That's the last nice thing you're gonna get from Janis today. By the way,
possibly, yeah. I mean, I kind of see Eloji getting out of this mildly traumatized, possibly. Like, there's a lot going on. Even just speaking to the demon might traumatize you on the spot, honestly, because, oh yes, sure, she responds. She first responds by just it's almost a very deep slurp as she's still busy with the unfortunate prisoner. And then you just hear a snapping, cracking sound as she is now done with her offering and snaps the person's neck. Turns around. The viscera from her meal and her summoning birth is still just running down her naked body. Nobody heard that? Twitch, TOS? No, it's fine. Steps towards you. And who are you, my child, to interrupt me so?
As you no doubt heard, I am blood of the one who summoned you.
And what does that make you to me besides a very potent offering?
Well, unlike him, I have connections in this world. It seems your dealings with him are at an end. You've gotten what you wanted. Now that you're here, well, there are other things that can be done.
Oh, my child. My dealings with him have not begun, nor have they ended. This is just one of many steps. And perhaps this step will be your consumption.
You're not the first to start off a conversation by asking Ing to consume me, but let's slow it down a bit and get to know each other.
You are still in the middle of a ritual here. A lot of people are a little confused, but there are Lord Skurlock and your father who are just on the verge of stepping in. Lord Skurlock is at least taking an interest. Your father, however, just looks at Setara. Greatest Setara. We can handle the matter of my offspring later. For now, we have these offerings prepared for you in return for another boon. And again, with just a gesture, another one is led up to Setara. Who is, you have to do something to actually keep her attention.
What the boons you have given him have garnered you comparatively little to what we can offer.
Oh, is that so? That's me as the GM asking.
Oh, that's a fucking lie, obviously.
So it's like what Glaiza looks at everybody's like, we're rich? Like what happened since I've been gone? But does not say anything, really. Muto's like, huh? Even I don't remember that. And I have near perfect memory.
Setara, again still awash with blood, gently caresses your father's cheek a moment, and with just wet footsteps strides towards you. What, my child, could you possibly have to offer me? I have had many dealings with your father, and as little as it concerns me, I have heard of you. I have heard of the prodigal son. Was meant for so much, but instead has become just a street rat. What could you give me, child?
You've heard only what I've allowed my father to hear.
You're digging such a hole for yourself.
Yup.
And what would you allow me to hear before my patience is at an end? You can flash back to something else anytime. I'm gonna just say.
So, yes, actually, I will flash back
Okay.
to something. Eloji and Carrion are talking. Mm. Actually, Eloji, Carrion, and Taibsha are talking. So, what happens if you lose yourself to this passenger again?
I won't. I figured it out. Just gotta push it down. There's nothing that happens that's bad when you repress things. Never, never. But theoretically speaking, if it were to get out again, it would be much angrier because I wasn't giving it enrichment.
Carrion?
Yes.
He doesn't know. Carrion hasn't felt anything ever in his life.
You were once able to procure some stimulants for me.
I could do that. Fairly easily.
I thought we said I wasn't allowed to have the zoomies again.
If things go poorly, maybe it's all right for you to zoom just a little.
Just a little as a treat.
As a treat.
I like the zoomies. I get a lot done when I have the zoomies.
I would like for Carrion to have stimulants to give to Taibsha.
Yeah,
Nothing goes wrong when you give the goth girl an energy drink.
Let's give the goth girl some ketamine, okay?
I would like to remind you, though, that Taibsha has cast a ritual to specifically keep her passenger inside.
It's what? I think it's 2 attempts. I think I said on the 3rd it's going to come out.
4th. After the 4th. Yeah.
Just going to OT on stimulants before the madness that comes out. The world comes out. You know, isn't that how it's supposed to go?
Unfortunately, we have that unless Shiv wants to, like, this is a devil's bargain and it is a very bad one for Taibsha, honestly, unless you want to introduce a loophole in the ritual.
I will take a devil's bargain.
Mm-hmm. Then what is
I
the
have an
loophole?
offer.
Yeah.
I have an offer. So it works if you give Taibsha the go-go juice, but it's going to blind her from seeing the real world, and she can only see spirit stuff. And her both eyes will go black
Forever or just for now?
forever. I will take
nice.
it. I will absolutely just blind my character.
Little setting information: demons don't exist in the spirit world. You will simply not be able to see.
Will not be able to see.
Yeah.
Only other senses work just fine.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I will put the loophole that my passenger is my sight, so I can only see when I let it control.
Okay. Okay.
That'll be my devil's bargain. Give Taibsha the go-go juice. Nothing's gonna happen. That.
All right.
What does that look like? What would the stimulant to?
What is the method? Is it a team?
Yeah, we're just having another flashback to just before you entered. Taibsha, can just head busted open because of the impact they made when they hit the floor after getting hit with the incense. Just lying there, and then Eloji administers something. So what do we see?
I think we see Carrion pass Eloji a small bottle with a deep, almost like stained, like bile that Carrion will like coat the bone knife from the museum with this this liquid, and then hand it to Eloji.
I do
What a
need to
really-
know if Carrion.
What a really
gave-
nice way of like administering drugs, truly.
Mhm.
You know, the bone knife has evolved from what it was originally. I love that for us.
I need to know if Carrion gave any indication of what dosage it's going to be, or if
Nope.
it's no
Just
cool.
just applied it and gave it to Eloji.
You couldn't have found a syringe?
No bone knife. The bone knife is honestly the best guest star in this entire series.
The ritual said
Bone knife is
Nice.
soon gonna have its own intro, really.
Yeah.
He's gonna voice the bone knife.
found me one
Fauna-
day at the museum.
We introduced the
forever
bone
home.
knife to Taisha.
Yes.
So, Eloji, how does that look? Keeping in mind, of course, the Taisha doesn't really come to immediately, but it's going to start doing its work.
So Eloji just sort of takes a moment, starts with the knife, like trying to think of a safe place to stick them.
Left side of abdomen. Just miss all the.
Yeah. It's like, forgive me, Tive. And like flips her over and like through like her dress or pants, whatever she's wearing, like
She's
sticks
in the
her-
Frankenstein wedding dress. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just perfect
right,
that
you're
she's
the
gonna
one.
have blood all over herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sticks Taisha in the butt, like in the left cheek.
My moneymaker, why would you do this?
Molto watches this. Pinocchio Molto watches this, files it away, and does not say anything.
Epinephrine could go in the thigh. We're gonna have a conversation about this. when it comes to it.
He's not a doctor.
Inside the fast forwarding again, inside of the former stage or room of the theater here. Now ritual chamber. We see Lord Skurlock just raising his eyebrows, looking a little dubious, and as Eloji, who he knows as a henchman, and not much more, just makes wild promises to Satara. He shifts a little bit, and Satara notices that. Looks at Eloji. Satara now looks at Eloji. Oh, you have so much to promise. Perhaps a little bit of proof. And then outside we see, I'm not gonna say Taisha, because I'm not sure it is Taisha.
Mm-mm. There's about like if this were like a movie, you hear the conversation happening and you see Taisha, and at first it's a twitch, and then it's like nearly a seizure, right? And there's kind of like blackness leaking from her nose and mouth and ears as she just kind of, you can see essentially what's happening in her head is she built a brick wall and is now trying to bust through it with her bare hands. And when that gives, it's just a rush of blackness, and Taisha is drowning in whatever darkness this is inside of her, and it is now leaking out of her. And she's got just like black dripped down the front of this white dress, and her red hair just kind of hanging in her face. And all you see is just her hand go out like she's going to open the door further, but her physical hand does not make contact. A like inky black, like almost liquid, is probably the most like corporeal that this being has been since she started utilizing it, just pushes the door, and you just see like Taisha hunched over, not breathing, just with both eyes blackened, like black tears coming down from them, and just goes, "Did I miss the party?"
Not at all. We were just talking to our new friend here.
Taisha, in her usual form, usually moves very creature-like. The thing that is now in Taisha moves with complete fluidity like a dancer. Almost like it's not touching the floor, and just glides in this white dress across to Eloji's side and says, "I was afraid I was too fashionably late. Forgive my tardiness." And she's just looking. You can't see really because there's no pupils or whatever, but you can tell she's just staring at the demon, which is very out of character because if she was in a room with Skurlock, all she can look at is Skurlock. And says, with a deep, very professional curtsy, "It is very nice to meet someone so close to my station."
Satara looks composed as she is. This isn't going to shock her in any way. However, she does pause for a little moment. So close, if you say so. So close and yet so far. For you are from the other side. Another word entirely, but it is interesting
with a hunger
that
similar to yours.
My concern is not just hunger. That said, however, is this what you're offering me? Looking to Eloji. And Eloji, at this point, I think you realize that, yeah, you have bargained a lot here, and you have possibly given Satara the impression that Taisha is up as a bargaining chip. Before we continue, I would like you to make a resolve check.
Like, who, you, me?
Excuse me. The artist formerly known as Taisha.
Yeah. I mean, Taisha's body is still there, and the thing is currently in it, so that's kind of an issue. But yeah, Eloji is currently trying to mediate between. We don't even know what the fuck is Taisha's passenger and a very powerful demon, so that's going to be a resolve check.
Okay. Any bonus dice for ghost voice or?
If you want a flashback,
I don't think
Taisha
so.
can give you some advice.
No, no, you can't. I don't think has any advice that Typhra has to give about demons currently.
It's true.
Maybe about the passenger, but yeah.
You know who has dealings with demons? Who spent time with a demon, just
Yeah, we don't
offering.
know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
was about
right.
to s-
Above table.
I was
Also going to say, Typhsha in her possessions that she can get, she's one of the only one that has a demon bane charm instead of a ghost bane.
Yeah. Which, yeah, could help, but Satara is very powerful compared to you. But yeah, I would say no bonus dice unless you maybe use some kind of special item or armor if you have it. But otherwise, just a resolve check. Okay, I mean that's almost a carrion roll.
I don't like
Deeply
that
hurt.
this is the precedent.
Deeply hurt.
We are all held to your standard, Andre. How does it feel to be the one that ruins the curve?
Feels like I'm being set up to fail.
It is true. Like every couple of sessions, there's just the hot like 1 or 2 on a super important roll for carrion. Anyway, yeah. Eloji, you keep your calm. I think, unless you're traumatized now. I'm not sure what your stress is looking like.
Technically, no. I have to go over 10 to be traumatized, so I'm just at 10.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then, yeah, you are, you're still with us. You're still just holding it together. But you have to offer both the passenger that Typhsha has and Satara, the demon, something. And you have to do it fast because at some point your father is going to figure something out. So, what are we going to do?
There are things you want to do in this world, surely. And my dealings with beings in both this world and the other will provide far more than that old priest ever could.
Your father in the back just lets out a snort. But Satara on. And again, what is it in exact terms that you are offering me? Do you think I have an interest in idle promises? No. Am I to have this one as my plaything? Looking directly at Typhsha. Who, Typhsha, if you're in there, you cannot see anything, but you very specifically can't even see a reflection of Satara. You just hear this voice.
I think the passenger looks to Eloji and just goes, "Feed me."
It sounds like you're both still hungry.
It seems this one overestimates its station. Quite a lot.
Is there what I call a red shirt NPC nearby that has no name and no significance that I can grab?
Not really. Not anybody with no significance. You did just walk past Mother Naria, the head of the or the proprietor of the Arms of the Weeping Lady, and also her 2 attendants.
Can I eat one? Just grab one. How no?
I mean, you would not eat them like Setara would. Setara is more of the flesh. Your passenger is more of the spirit. You would destroy their spirit right then and there.
Taisha ain't here. She can't stop me.
Oh, Taisha is there. Taisha is going to have to make a resolve test immediately at -1 die because, goddamn, you just have to witness that, and this is specifically bad for Taisha.
No.
Seeing somebody's spirit just destroyed. Yeah, that's 4 stress for Taisha.
It's fine. I got it.
But yeah, you can roll for it. You are going to have. You're in a desperate position. And by default, because there are other people nearby, and Mother Naria is also not just. Mother Naria also has some shit going on. Has already shown that she can control minds to some extent. You're gonna have.
Well, Naria is busy.
Yeah, no. You're gonna have limited effect.
Okay. Could I roll it with a tune? Because I'm essentially grabbing spirit as opposed to flesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
it's
so-
what I'm saying is like you will not actually succeed unless you upgrade the effect in some way, which could be a devil's bargain.
You can also trade position for effect, right?
We're already desperate. So.
Oh,
I'm like, would this be something I could call a flashback on?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure how your prisoner would have. Yeah. I mean, maybe. What do you have in mind?
So of course you've written this. This is just me spitballing here, and if you need to correct anything, but it flashes back to the passenger in its previous world as like a small little primordial darkness grabbing its first kill, and finding those threads that connect spirit to flesh, and being clumsy with it, and it takes a minute. But the second it kind of gets the makeup, because I am going to at least keep Taisha in it, that it is very much like a very intelligent creature, finds those in that moment where spiritual claws disconnect and snatch what is disconnected out of the air. So just this is something it's done literally since its inception.
Oh yeah, it has, and that's
so.
But that flashback doesn't help you yet.
Okay.
It has to have some relevance to it using that with Taisha. So we see another scene, and that is going to cause Taisha to stress with something like that has happened before.
We flash to Taisha standing over, almost like an autopsy table, but not, because we don't do autopsies here. A very catatonic looking Rudy, Eloji's friend, and Taisha working with the precision of a surgeon, where this thing you saw that is in Taisha is doing it like a predator. Taisha is practically performing brain surgery to release Rudy's spirit from her body. But there is one hand working with that surgical precision while the other looks like it is holding on to strings that you cannot see. And when that last string in Rudy is disconnected, there is a jump, and it is Taisha taking what is in Rudy, or what is in Rudy now, and putting it there, and actually re-tying the excess like loose threads to put the spirit into a body that was not it. And Rudy's spirit goes off, but the thing that is
it doesn't
I was
go
going to
off.
say
It's
the
destroyed.
thing that's different is that Rudy wanted this. Rudy wanted spirit separated from the flesh, and this is why Rudy asked her to try this. And so Taibsha, once the moment is complete, tries to see if that changes what spirits typically do. It's an experiment, and this is where you realize that Taibsha is trying to figure it out. It has that surgical precision.
And with that, we go to the current scene. You have the two priests next to you. You have Mother Naria, who...
Like I said, I'm not taking a named NPC. I'm just taking a lackey. So what does that change in my role? Is that
you have standard effect.
Okay, standard effect. Okay.
So you actually can do it, and it can succeed.
All right, but there's
hopefully.
Okay. Go 4.
Yeah. Describe how you succeed visibly to everybody.
Visibly, it's the Taibsha's body with an arm linked with Eloji, and her fingers just come up, and it's almost like kind of trying to find it in the air, and then there's just like a pluck, like on a guitar string, and this lackey goes limp, just like standing, not standing, and then there's a close of the fist, like around a balloon string. And that is what is visible.
And almost immediately, Mother Naria, the remaining priest, and also the acolytes gathered below spring into actions and want to rush towards Taibsha, including Eloji's father.
Eloji puts up his hand. Please. No.
Nobody reacts to Eloji, but then Lord Skurlock lifts up his walking stick and slams it into the ground, or into the floor, and Satara also just stands there as if to keep everybody back. Hold. Hold. Now, a little bit of spiritual trickery, wonderful. But I'm so very uninterested in matters of the spirit. I am much more interested in blood and flesh.
And we have provided blood and flesh, bereft of the taint of the spirit.
You get what
Nothing
you want,
so.
and I get what I want.
Yeah, nothing so base and crude as drugging people.
So rich coming from you having just stabbed a drugged knife into my butt.
There is perhaps something you could offer. Not to me, but to an associate who is more concerned with the spiritual. My dear, looking over to Lord Skurlock, your old friend should be arriving by train soon, should he not? There's just a simple nod. Well, young priestling child, why don't you leave us to our feast? forget anything you ever saw. And in 2 days, we may meet again.
There is one final matter.
No, there's not. I mean, you can say something, but she's at the end of her patience, and you might be traumatized if you want anything more from her.
I'm just curious if you are a jealous, jealous individual. Do you prefer to share, or?
Share who or what?
I just know that my father is not the most loyal of individuals. Well, let's just say you're not the only demon he's invited over.
Ooh. I'm not muted.
Of course I am not, but I am the greatest. You could, of course, introduce something spicy with a flashback, but again, that's going to cost you stress, and then you're traumatized.
Glaiza desperately tried to save me from myself.
I just don't want Cedric to be eaten. I just want us to go.
Do we have Cedric?
No, he's still in a cage. Like that's also
No.
something-
I opened the cage.
No, we
Yeah,
we
okay,
did
but
open
he's
the
still
cage.
but
in
he's,
there.
like,
Like you're not
unconscious.
carrying Cedric, I hope.
Why not?
Because you're a doll.
I can't carry my boy as a doll.
I don't think we have
To
him
walk
with us.
away?
But anyway,
I don't
we'll
think you
get to
have-
that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Decision time for Eloji is: do you want to drive a wedge between Satara and your father at the cost of traumatizing yourself here?
So you see Eloji, a younger man, sweating, going through stacks of papers and books and flipping through them. And as the camera pans around, you realize that he is in his father's office, trying to find something, anything that explains what he just saw. And then he takes a moment, takes a breath, looks around, and goes over to the moon clock in his office and checks around it and finds like a little latch and clicks it open, and inside there is a old book. Eloji takes that out and looks through it, and there are a series of languages and a series of names.
Yeah, and this is where I'm going to come in. Glaiza, what is one of the names that we have heard before and that Eloji now finds in there?
Are we talking about my baby demon guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Magindara.
Yeah.
Magindara.
Magindara.
He's
Yeah.
He's a water sort of demon.
Mm.
And yeah, what dealings did your father have with the Magindara?
What dealings would he have with the manga? I mean, if it's a water demon, and
So
we are in
he's
the coastal city. Oh god.
he's sort of like, imagine mermaid type, a lot of beautiful promises, like those kind of things, based on making things last forever, beauty, and then drowning, because mermaid.
Yeah, Eloji, how does your father look for his age?
He looks very good for his age.
Yeah.
He is so moisturized.
Mhm.
He barely has any gray too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we're back in the present day. And you're going to take a single point of stress just to push you over the edge.
All right, I'm traumatized.
As you have revealed something about the Magindara, whose name, I had to look it up, his name is Ilagan.
Mhm.
And yes, that is a powerful enough demon to possibly stir some kind of jealousy in Setara.
Yes. And you're fine with my father and his dealings with Ilagan? Was it the Mahidara?
If anybody is paying attention to Muto right now, there is a crack of emotion in his face.
Mm.
I do not have any concerns about any other demons, and that is a lie. That is the biggest
Even though
fucking lie.
he's what bodies he could be giving to you, he's instead drowning for vanity's sake.
There are always more of you to be given. But you have shown that you know a little. And I think you will be expected at the manor of my friend. Lord Scarlock just looks completely blankly at you, but his eyes are on you. You will be expected in 2 days. And for now, I think it is time to resume my affairs with your father. Leave us. And I mean, there's no lie there, but there's a lot that is unsaid. She's upset with your ability to always tell when somebody's lying or not really committing to the truth. Let's say, yeah, no, there's a bit of, oh, your dad's in trouble.
Since it is unclear that Cedric is safe, I would like to make it clear that Cedric is safe.
You can walk out now. The doors will just close behind you. There are much bigger issues going on with Setara and Eloji's father now. So you will have time to just get Cedric out.
Yes.
Maybe you can even save another prisoner, but maybe that's also going to make the church even more upset at you.
I will save. How many prisoners are there left in the staging area?
Weren't there like dozens?
Not that many. No, there were like I think 6 or so cages. Let's say they're like Cedric and 3 others that are kind of in a state to be saved.
I would like to save Cedric and then roll to save the others, but like the focus is if I can only save one, it will obviously be Cedric. So
there's no roll. You
Okay.
can just walk out. I mean, they're just going to look like they look drugged. But if you like, if you excuse yourself very quickly, they're going to look like they were drugged by choice, not so much by weird
I think
ritual
we're
incense.
not leaving through the front door. I think we're.
You're all a bit bloody. Yeah, maybe you leave whatever way Molto came in.
Yeah. Multo has been hanging out in this mansion for a little bit longer than you have. And now is guiding mostly just holding Cedric's hand as he's guiding everybody out in a side sort of entrance where there's not that many people. And probably Reynald is also there waiting.
Mm-hmm. And
Not leaving my boy.
Reynolds sees Reynolds sees in a slightly bloody dress, Taifsha, blackened eyes, several drug people just in your company. Just looks at you. Oh, well, you found what you're looking for.
Yeah, just another day in the life of the Isagani, right? Let's get out of here.
Right. And that's where we go on break.
Sweet.
We're back. We're back with another traumatized party member. But we'll get to that in a second. For now, we have left the charity ball in the arms of the weeping lady behind. And we are returning to Duskwall just the next, morning, when the sun was a little darker and then it got a little less dark again. And stepping out of the haunted house of the Dimmer Sisters, surrounded by a bank of fog as it usually is. It is almost like the door opens as if you are getting breathed out of the house into the streets of Duskwall. You have reported back to the Dimmer Sisters about your findings. Maybe not all of them, but the relevant parts for sure. And with that, you are for now, for the next 2 days, until you have to immediately report to Lord Skurlock. You're left to your own devices, and we see you in Crumble Tower Court, where there's a lot to be said about what just happened with Taifsha and Lord Skurlock. But the most immediate concern is, of course, that Multo is back, and yet not.
Speaking of Multo, who's back, he is putting his shelves back together. His books, he has slowly started, like when people are not at home, he's going to grab the things that they've divvied up. It's just sort of like putting it back quietly. But unless you haven't left the Crumble Tower at all, then he has not touched your room. So I don't know what Molto has, but he does have a little bit of stuff in his little corner there, and he's just going through the motions unless somebody talks to him. He does not talk first because he does not know how to start.
What does Multo look like in Taifsha's new vision?
You can see his ghost in there.
Yeah, it is. For Taifsha, honestly, there is no visible difference anymore because you cannot see the body.
Mm-hmm. Did she see him at all before all
Nope.
of this happened? No. Okay. So, unless somebody out loud says Molto is not back in his body, and it's different, she's under the impression that we just have Molto back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So, at our meeting table, Eloji has a bottle of 10-year-old Scorlocks Reserve whiskey. And he's pouring 2 glasses. And then he says, like, all right, there's no point in delaying this any longer. Everyone in here.
I believe one of the glasses will be then for Carrion.
Carrion will have Diogenes grab it, and you see Carrion doesn't drink it. Diogenes does. As you see the 2 extra legs that sometimes pop out again, as he like drinks it like a little gremlin.
It's awesome.
When Eloji makes the call, like everyone come in, Taibsha tries to come by her usual route of not the floor and door, and there's just kind of a couple of different crashing noises, the sound of a body hitting the floor, and then she does walk in through the door with like her hands out. She does walk into the wall next to the door first, and then into the room.
Would you like some help, Taibsha?
Not from you. I can't sit properly. I love that she's like, my butt hurts before I'm blind. That's what she's mad about.
That's the more important problem.
She does. You do see her try to like finagle sitting in one of the chairs and kind of like ends up in like a Jareth position to have the cheek up. And it's just like, thigh is a meaty part of the body that can work even if there's a wound in it. And I want you to know she's looking at not you. just like she's talking to you. Know she's talking to you, and she's not looking at you. She's like near opposite direction.
Well, I knew someone who that was their preferred place to have their injections. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have other things to discuss.
Speaking of other things, the other things remain moving around. You hear creaking noises. They are in the room. Sha is in the room. It's just, unless somebody brings him up, he's just fixing the room. You hear creaking noises. Yes.
I'm here.
And he does walk slowly and sits down hard on the chair, breaks it a little bit, and goes, gotta remember how to move again.
You see Carrion is circling around you sitting in the chair.
I am still not convinced who you say you are.
That is very fair. I remember everything. So maybe if you ask me things that you and I know, I would be able to convince that way.
But it's Molto. That is Molto.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, Taifra, you actually, because we had this come up, you don't just see Molto in the same kind of spiritual sense as before. If anything, Molto is a bit clearer in your vision, which you could probably piece that together. That is just because he is less tethered to the flesh, considering.
I imagine when she kind of got out and realized what she was seeing, she can piece that together. And I don't know if she can quite put that, like, he's in a vessel versus a body, but like she does. She looks up and she goes, no, I see him clearly. That is Molto.
And Moto points and does a little weird face that looks even weirder as a puppet, wooden puppet, but then puts his hand down. It is as me as I can be in this situation.
I understand your trepidation, Carrion. I see differently now. That is Molto, not something in Molto.
I don't think you grasp what the situation is. Why don't you touch Molto with your hand?
And she'll reach out and find a different sensation.
Yep. It is very wooden and...
Is it like polished, like varnished wood, or is it like rough hewn?
What's the radiant tree like?
I mean, it was a whole tree, so you could have just gotten, like, it could be very much just varnished wood, yeah.
Yeah.
There was enough material there to make a full like mannequin out of it.
Yeah, so it's like it looks and feels like a well done big puppet. It's not rough. It's kind of smooth, but it is very clearly wood or something very solid.
So I didn't even mean to make this connection, which I am very proud of myself for doing, but I was describing Taifsha separating spirits and stuff as pulling on like strings that connected stuff. Like, does it seem like kind of the same application that she did on Rudy has been done here, just in a tree as opposed, or wood as opposed to a body? Kind of that tying of the loose ends. But it would be weird. Like, this is her because she's gonna postulate out loud. She's like, usually there needs to be something to tie to.
It feels like Molto's spirit has been welded into the tree. There is no loose string. It's stuck there.
She just, she kind of, like, not in like any sort of really like invasive way. You see her kind of like pat up your arm and just goes, no strings on you. Fascinating.
This also brings another matter up, which is that now that you are here, I need to know our position.
What do you mean?
Are you in charge?
No. I wasn't supposed to come back.
So why did you?
How did you?
sometimes.
I'm sorry. No one's
Which
else is going to ask how he defied death.
I mean, I will, but probably in private.
No, I think this is a time for things to be asked in the group.
Now, in the explosion that killed Muto, like, did we say
That
Taibsha
didn't
couldn't
happen.
sense? Oh, it didn't happen at all.
No, there was no explosion that killed Moto.
Or-
Moto
Or
was
whatever.
Moto was shot.
Moto
Yeah.
by Sherry.
Multiple shot. Sorry, apologies. I thought there was an explosion. But when Molto died, did Taibsha get the ding ding at all?
I think Taibsha was unconscious.
No, at some point, Taibsha would have, yes. Moto's body was officially disposed of
Mm-hmm.
alongside that of Malira Klev. So the spirit must have absconded before that. That is something that you can already tell. Like something got the spirit out, and it definitely was not Taibsha.
Yeah, I think that's more where her line of thinking is going. It's who wanted Molto to remain active. I can't even say alive. To the point of trying to bypass the spirit wardens.
You know, of course,
I-
Taibsha, that a certain Lord Skurlock would have the power to do that, who you just so happen to have to enter an agreement with.
I made an agreement at great cost, and I made that at a time when I was terrified. At the time of my death, I was not terrified, but unfortunately, the deal had already been made. And now I'm back. And I had all intentions of never showing my face ever again. I just, and then looks at Taibsha. Didn't want to watch you die.
I'm not certain that could happen now, but the intent is appreciated.
I couldn't watch any of you die. So I do not intend to run things if somebody is already running. I have no intention of taking that away. Looks at Kyrian, changing any promises made. I have no intention of doing that. I have different goals.
Different goals.
Yes.
Maybe we can be forthcoming with those, because keeping them secret before.
Oh, you want to know my different goals? My different goals is to die again. Unfortunately, that seems to be impossible.
Why do you want to die again?
This is unnatural.
What? Where was the concern for what's natural before?
There are worse
You
things
still have
than death.
told us who you made this deal with. Who brought you back?
I brought me back, but to be more specific, I made a deal with a demon
Oh.
for my emotions. Oh, and also my friend. But
I was
not
just
any of
gonna
you guys,
say,
Cleo.
Eloji could tell a lie here. Like, Eloji can't tell any lies. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, correct. But like he was also like, yes, for my emotions. Oh, and then my friend also. But it's not any of you guys.
Is the friend the lie?
No, those are actually both the truth.
Okay.
I think in all of this, if anyone looks over at Taibsha, you can see her doing math. Like, trying to... essentially making the mental string board. And there's definitely some science going on in there, too. She's... Who put you in this? If you saved yourself, someone had to do it. This is not something you can do.
A family demon. And then looks at Eloji. Demons apparently do that. Though mine apparently deals with yours as well.
Excuse you?
You mentioned Elgan. Elegan. I forgot his name.
Ilagan. Yeah.
Ilagan.
That's your demon.
I wouldn't say my demon, but it does run in the family, yes.
You see Taibsha look over at the absence that is Diogenes. It looks like she's looking at him. She's looking at the whole in the universe that she's seeing, and goes, "Did everyone get a demon except me?"
Multa looks at you and goes, "I think you have one."
I don't think it's demonic. It's not good. It's a different subclass of supernatural entity. Still parsing out what I've got.
Still something terrible.
By the way, Eloji, I should thank you for managing a way out of that without any more bloodshed. That's very cunning of you.
Not any of our bloodshed, at least.
I think that's the one that matters.
Unfortunately, now we are even more prominent in Scorlock's eyes as well as that of the church. It's only a matter of time now before my father comes after us.
Janis, I would like to do a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a flashback with me hanging out with Elegan at his spirit or his little cave or whatever, just before we got moved, before I got my body, and me sort of trying to bother him about the different demons that are near to the area, or sort of like coming near to the area, like any demons that really, like, who's your demon friends? I don't know if he will be honest and tell me, but that is something that I'm curious to know, just to see if I would know Lord Scarlock's friend, or like at least have an idea.
You wouldn't know about that, no.
Got it.
Because that friend that was mentioned, depending on what you mean exactly now, the friend that was mentioned is arriving by train, and that means from across the empire somewhere.
Got it.
So this is
we
where
would
my
have heard
question-
of Sitara, for sure.
Yeah. So we're just talking about those kinds of things, and I would go, this one, the one that you just mentioned, is she more powerful than you?
Sitara.
Yeah.
Oh, she has vested interests in Duskwall.
I see.
So perhaps here you could call her more powerful. But that tide can shift so quickly.
To your favor.
Perhaps.
Well, we're already connected. Hopefully, when that tide shifts, you could give me advance warning so my friends do not drown.
Perhaps.
Perfect. Now tell me about other demons. And then we could just fade out of that.
And I think we're going to switch scenes in the present day as well. After this slightly tense first interaction with the rest of the crew, one of you, which is Taifsha, is at how much stress? Like 7, 8 or something?
What is it? You hit traumatized when you surpass 10. I have, I think, 1 tick. Hold on, of course, this is not when my internet decides to not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have 1 tick until that's full.
Yeah.
So lots.
Yeah, you are. Taifsha has a time right now. You have been not blinded, but your sight has fully shifted into the ghost field. And that is because of the workings of your passenger. Your passenger who wants to unmake the world, apparently, and wants to feast on a world that you can now no longer even behold. Not only that, but you also have to go and visit Lord Skurlock.
So I was going to say, I think she's going to indulge in her vice, which is weird. And in an attempt to gain her sight back, she's going to do some weird stuff, like maybe the ectoplasmic or electroplasmic makeup. She's going to try to apply that around her eyes to see if it can focus her back in there. Then we start getting into like weird, like whatever potions or whatever that maybe she swiped from Una's house. Like, it is just, I think the next time you see her, she's going to have a blindfold on because her eyes are very angry at her. So I won't go into how that has happened because I am somebody personally who doesn't like really explain eye trauma. It's just homegirl needs a Benadryl and a Zyrtec.
Yeah.
So,
but your sight does not return. And the best you can get at this moment is some kind of temporary acceptance of the fact. In terms of mechanics, I will say that once you have actually solved your long-term project of just kind of getting the passenger under control, and also that would coincide with getting rid of your, moving past your trauma, your sight might return.
I think in the kind of, in her research, which is convoluted, but it is research, there is a part of that little math brain in the back trying to figure out how she can, it would be a last ditch effort, but reversing the ritual she did to repress it to possibly let it out so it's not hers to carry anymore. So that would be something she would be working on, though she doesn't know. She wouldn't even start that until she can kind of figure out if she can let it out in a certain direction or a certain place or the other world, like something that isn't here. She would not let it out to just unleash it unfettered.
Oh yeah, I mean, we see you just in your laboratory, and certainly you can let it out. The question then is, what does it do to you on the way out? So challenge there is going to find a way to channel it out of you so it doesn't kill you in the process.
That's a great word to use, channel. Yeah, she doesn't want to just unleash it. She wants to channel it out. So that's her kind of direction that I would do in downtime to try to de-stress, because Taisha is definitely somebody who self-soothes by knowing things. So that would be how she is. Research calms her.
And I think as you wish for knowledge, you hear a knock at your door.
I
think just
is it knocking? Is it Karen or is it Diogenes that's knocking?
You're gonna have to open the door to find out.
I don't even know that she gets up from what she's doing, which probably to the outside eye looks really weird, because like what she would be doing is research, but it's not. She doesn't have books because she can't read them. She doesn't have papers that she's writing things down on. She's almost meditating, trying to pull from the knowledge she already has. So she's got like all of these abandoned bottles around her and like one of her arm wraps wrapped around her eyes. And so she doesn't even get up. She just says, "You can open it. I didn't lock it this time."
And the door will swing open, and you see Carrion standing there, and Diogenes standing there as well. He's on the ground instead of on Carrion's shoulder perched. He's like standing upright, like a little trained dog.
I think she notes that 'cause she can't see Carrion at all, because like he's not really existing in the ghost field, and Diogenes is only seen by his absence. And she just she says to Diogenes, "Did you bring company?"
Oh.
And I think Carrion is very quiet after this.
You asshole.
And what does Diogenes reply with?
That's like, what does Diogenes reply with? I think it's more like, well, Diogenes doesn't really see Carrion as company, so
like a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am
Like
a
an old
steed
carrier boy.
by all measures.
Yeah, it's more like Diogenes will simply reply, "I am attended."
Hello, Carrion.
Hello.
And she stands up, and it's kind of one of those things that I don't know how to describe it other than like she's obviously navigating with like a lot more care than she has been, and like the room's a mess, and so you see her kind of stepping a little bit lighter and like testing kind of where she puts her foot down, because there's a lot of glass around right now and she still doesn't wear shoes. And she like walks over to what she would call the sitting room or sitting area, but really it's just kind of stacks of stuff that is at least stable enough to be sat on.
Yeah.
Sits down. She says, "You probably have some very important wisdom to impart on me, and I'm all ears."
I have questions.
I can answer them as best I can. I am currently in the R&D phase, so...
You cannot see me?
No, and I technically cannot see Diogenes. I can just see that he's not there. Shadow.
Can you see anything else inside of this room? Do you understand?
The doll. Well, what's in the doll? I cannot see the doll I put it in, but I can see who I put in it.
Cannot see the walls.
I see echoes of a building that was here once. The walls are different.
When you unleashed it,
That
Oh.
sounds like I had a say in it coming out.
when it
It
broke
escaped.
loose,
Mhm.
sure. How present were you?
I know what I did.
You remember it?
I resent that it used my knowledge to do it. I've spent a long time studying how spirits work. Part of it was training. Another part of it was self-guided study. And I did it. I figured it out. Not only disconnection, but reconnection. Multa is a new version of it. Moderately similar to what I did with the doll. Just on a larger scale. More accurate to what was lost. I want to know. I want to know how to do that. But what I grabbed, what I disconnected, it's gone. Who I disconnected is gone. It ate it. Don't know how to describe other than that, but my appetite is very minimal today. It's been noted.
I hope you know I'm immensely jealous.
If it makes you feel any better, probably wouldn't, but it makes me feel better. I didn't like it. It tasted very bad. I wanted to spit it out. I've had this stupid, bad taste in the back of my throat all day. Food is meant for enjoying. Supposedly.
No, it is not. Do you think goats eat hay because it fills them with joy? Do you think the crows feast on the rotting rats left in the sewers because they think it's a fine delicacy?
Do you judge other cultures for their definitions of delicacy?
I am the other cultures.
Is this a crack at that I don't like spices?
Yes.
This is not the time to bring that up. But heard. But you. Crows are designed for that. Crows enjoy it. Have you met an unhappy crow? Well, possibly. They do whisper about you sometimes.
I gave one to Eloji.
I don't think it had many opinions by the time you gave it to Eloji.
Probably not.
Have you met a goat that was unhappy while it was eating?
I have met many goats who were afraid while they were eating. When your head is down grazing, you are not looking at your surroundings.
Goats like to eat lots of things. So do the crows, vultures, ghosts. Have you ever fed a nice little thing to a creature who enjoys it? That's joy. And then they follow you around for 5 days and demand it again. What I did yesterday, that's not that. It's not treat. That was pill. You have to hide it. A piece of food. Pretend that it's not there. And I'm going to continue to pretend it's not there because I don't know where it is.
That is a pretty good summation of my relationship with Ula.
She is an interesting lady.
Have you seen her since?
Can I flash back? That Taisha does go back to her to ask her for help.
Yeah. Actually, I would frame the flashback a little bit, perhaps.
Oh, go for it.
When you exited the arms of the weeping lady, Taisha gradually just kind of regained control, and you realize that there's something there that Ula would have an interest in. Because why was it that the priests were so unaffected by their own incense?
Yep, that's
you
a question she
checked.
want to ask somebody.
No, you checked and you saw signs, like a little bit of glowing energy, like little glow in their veins when you checked. Other things that made you wonder, like, yeah, okay. It made you realize that there is some demonic influence there. And right before you, possibly right before you had this conversation with Carrion, now you return to Ula with a package of meat.
Don't question it too much. Yeah, she goes to Una and is Ula, right?
Ula,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yes, Ula, and goes in the front, knocks on the front door. She's being very polite.
The door swings open almost immediately, and Ula, who is a little bit shorter even than Taisha, I think, just immediately looks at the just soggy, wet package of meat and, oh, there you are. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Just pinches your cheek and waves you right in. And come in, my dear. Now, what did you bring me here?
A gift.
I can tell that. And it is as we discussed, after all. Otherwise, you wouldn't be out here now, would you? But what kind of wonderful gift have you brought me, little one?
Dinner. Though, admittedly, I'm very bad at cooking. It's not part of my
Yes, you don't really belong in a kitchen. I've seen that. Just rips open the gift that you brought. And like, oh, wonderful, wonderful. I will store that, and then we can take care of whatever has brought you here.
You are a expert in the corporeal, where I am in the spirit, and know your way around such business. I have questions.
Well, that's all correct, and I'm an expert in so many more things, but we're not here to flatter me, so what are your questions?
I know to know something, you have to take it apart.
And what do you want to have taken apart?
Control. And immunity.
Well, I'll cook us something special. You come back tomorrow.
The spices.
Don't tell me how to do my cooking. Come back tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, chef. Yeah, she'll. I think maybe this was like, 'cause you said it was the following morning, was when we went to the Dimmer Sisters, and then it's that day that we had the conversation with Eloji. So this conversation with Carrion is currently happening with her visit to Ula being impending.
Yeah, you're scheduled to.
So when
visit
he
Ula,
he
yeah.
asks, "Have you seen her?" She goes, "Do you want to come with me to see her again? You seem so fond."
Yes, I do.
And we switch scenes for now as the two of you, all three, really, if we count Diogenes, which we should. He will end the world after all.
Not if I get there first.
Yeah. Make your way to Ula. But who else do we have? We have Eloji. You have survived an encounter with your father, Lord Skurlock, a demon. You have also, in doing so, utilized very coldly your perhaps oldest friend in this group in Taifsha. So where do we find Eloji, and how does this affect you right now?
Eloji is going to go to Molto's room and knock on the door.
Molto will open the door.
May I come in?
Of course. How can I help you?
He walks in, sits down on first chair he finds. I am Gravedigger. He liked to claim he was a noble in his former life. I never really believed him. He was good with knives, though. Gangrene, very strange. I feel like Taivsha was the only one who understood them, and even then, they would have conversations, and it felt like they were talking two different languages. Yet they still kept going. Head. Do you remember Headshot? He was probably the only one who could keep up with Carrion.
All of this people, as you're mentioning them, Molto is like remembering them. But when you laugh and reminisce, Molto's face remains passive. But he remembers.
We've lost a lot of people. And
Correct.
I don't. Maybe it's some remnant of my upbringing, but I don't like killing people, despite how good we've become at doing it.
Molto's head sort of like goes like this and, like tilts. And then you hear like a creaking, like a door hinge sound. What are you? You know I'm dead, right?
Yes, you are dead. But
Very.
you're not. No, not very. You're not dead the way Headshot's dead. You're not dead the way Gangrene's dead, or Gravedigger is dead, or Corvus is dead, or Grand Mort is dead, or any of the other people we've lost are dead. You're walking around talking to us, helping us. You're a very different kind of dead, and I'm and I think the most upsetting thing about all of that is that you want to be their kind of dead.
Is that not what everybody wants? Eloji? Isn't
Well,
that what all of you want? To wrap me in a little bow and say goodbye. It's what I wanted originally at the end, even though I made plans like this. It's what I deserve.
Logi
Eloji.
just stands up and shouts, "No, no, I, I never wanted to lose you." Ooh, and the fact that I'm not doing that again. You say you can't die now. I say good. Stay. I don't. There's too much that we've had to give up already. Too much we've had to compromise. I don't know what it's like to be this thing you are now.
It's not that bad.
And stay.
Moto raises his hands and puts it on your face. Then I will. I do anything for this crew.
We are switching scenes again. Just for a moment, we are in front of the kind of ramshackle building that Ula inhabits. The door opens for Carrion and Diogenes and also Taifsha, who is coming through the front door today. Second time running. Very proud. Yeah. Ula opens up and there you are, all of you, and dinner is just ready. Flashes you a smile that shows every single tooth in her mouth. Come in, come in. We have so much to talk about, but we're going to switch scenes again. We're going to follow the network of the canals that run through Duskwall, much like veins through a body. And there is one in Charter Hall, a very posh district, where we see a little ripple in the waterway. Walking close by is Arlene. And Glaiza, you can tell me what way about how Arlene is dressing herself shows shows that she is mourning still. Mourning the loss of her friend, Malik.
There's a little square pin that it's from, I don't know how common it is in Dustfall, but definitely in the Dagger Isles, whenever somebody passes away, somebody they care about, maybe they can't wear an all black at their work, or maybe they can't spend 3 weeks just, in mourning outfits, but there is just one black rectangle pin that they pin anywhere on their outfit that shows that they're in mourning. So she may be dressed according to the uniform that she's at, or whatever like whatever is in demand for her job, but there is one solitary black rectangular pin that she's wearing that shows that she's in mourning.
Yeah, and oh, well, okay. We were shivless for a second, but moving right on. Arlene is lost in thought, wandering around, and doesn't even notice it at first, but then the form of Ilagan is rising out of the water, looking at her. Ah, you poor, poor, poor girl. You have lost so much, haven't you? And as Arlene looks, first confused at the Magindara, but then takes a halting step towards him, that is where we'll end the session.
Yay! Session.
I told you I didn't sacrifice any of the friends around me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least that was true. Yeah. We
Everything's
may
fine.
see
We're
Arlene
fine.
again, which will not be great. But anyway, we will return next week with a dinner party, or just a friendly little dinner, and then an invitation to Lord Scarlock, and we'll see where that leaves you in the end. As a
For all the
train
gays in
is
the
coming. Yeah.
I was gonna say for all the gays in the building, meatloaf for dinner.
But yeah, that was the Revenants for today. I've been handed a lot of knives today, and I'm gonna see what I do with them. I think that's gonna be my outro for the most part. When this stream is over, we will not be done for the day, just for the next couple of hours, but in around 3 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, late European time, we will return with a Forged in the Dark panel discussion. I will be there, and also going to be there is Prince.
Yay!
Who I'm going to popcorn it over to now. I have nothing else really to announce for the moment.
Hey, I'm Prince or Prince Infidel if you are making bad decisions only. You can find me as Prince Infidel anywhere or most places on the internet at least. You'll see me here playing Eloji or later today playing myself. Yeah, that seems about right. I'm gonna hell of a session today. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Shiv, who got shivved earlier.
Yeah, no, honestly, like Janis talks about knives.
On
and
the
I'm like,
butt.
I think it got handed a lot of shivs today. None of them are actually supposed to be knives. We'll just makeshift them into knives. And I'm Shiv or Siobhan. I can be found here at Find Out Productions. I can also be found at Dr. Wolf's PhD, literally everywhere, except for Xbox Live and now apparently Rockstar Games because I couldn't get that. But anyways, you can find me here. I will be doing some fun things coming up in the future that still are nebulous because my life is a mess. But I played Taibsha, who actually managed to get out of today's session not traumatized. I'm very proud of her. Don't put spices on the meat that she's going to eat, but we're not going to question much more than that. And speaking of my dinner party mate, I'm going to popcorn it over to Andre.
Hello, I am Andre. My pronouns are he, they. Today I play Carrion, whose pronouns are he, him, and a little bit Diogenes, whose pronouns are something. Just something.
His pronouns are hungry.
or his pronouns are feed me. You can find me at Andre Rivera Art on social media, as well as my website, andrerivera.art, where you can see some games I've designed, my illustration portfolio, some actual plays I'm in, and a few podcasts as well. I am working on something behind the scenes for the channel that will be coming out later this late summer, early fall. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will popcorn over to Glaiza, who's doing stuff right now all the time on this channel.
All the time. All the time. Hey everyone, my name is Glaiza. Shanya pronouns. It applies to all gender and is very Filipino. What more can I ask for? I do a lot of things on the internet, especially in the TTRPG space. I run games, make games, and I play in games. I haven't run a game in a while, but I do that. I'm also the Notion guy of Find Out Productions. All of my links you can find by going to connect.classicalglaiza.com, where you can sign up for a mailing list. In that mailing list, I say that I do not send spam, and it is true. The first email I have sent was just last week after having started that mailing list in 2024. So no spam. Promises are being kept here. You can also just go to my website, classicaladventures4.1. It's just really me trying to relive what it was like to have a blog back in the 2000s. A warning, if you find a classical Glaiza, guess what? You have found me. If you can't find me, I don't know. Try harder. Be better. I'm everywhere. And that's it.
Yeah. And with that, we will return next week with more of that, as we are kind of approaching the end game of the Revenants, which apparently will involve you doing something for Lord Scarlock, which I'm so glad you got there. I'm sure everybody in the crew is as well.
I like Lord Scarlock. I have never heard anything bad about the man. Cedric works with him. He's my boyfriend, and I love the guy. So I think it's going to be great.
We should probably also visit Cedric again. I'm sure that's going to go perfectly fine.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.